Hi guys, it's Liberty from Silky Presets. Today I just wanted to go over 25 keyboard shortcuts that you might find useful in your day-to-day working with Lightroom. There are actually about 1 billion shortcuts, but I tried to stick to the ones that would be easiest to remember and also hopefully useful to you. So, here we go. Alright, I have my folder here. This is a folder of images by one of our beta testers, Jesse Blake, which are all really awesome, and I love them, so I wanted to use them for this example. So I'm going to start with a couple keyboard shortcuts that are useful in any of the modules. You can use them at any time. The first one is Tab, and that's just, oops, select my window here. Alright, so you're going to use Tab to hide or show the side panels. Just these here. Sometimes you want a little more room to work and you don't want these things in the way. If you don't need them, you can hide them with the Tab key. Similar to that is the Shift tab, so just hold Shift and then hit Tab, and that'll actually clear out your bottom and your top panels as well. So there's Shift Tab again, brings everything back, and then takes it away. Pretty easy so far. Alright, the next one is a favorite of mine and one that I really should use more often. It's very helpful for removing distractions, and that's just the L key. And when you hit it once, you'll get this kind of dimmed lights effect, and then if you hit it again, it'll go totally black except for your images. And you can actually also do this in single image view, just like that. So it's a really nice way just to get an idea of what your image looks like without all those background distractions. Okay, the next step is I'm going to go over some library specific shortcuts. The first one is E, and that'll take you to the single image view if you happen to be in the grid view. The next one is G, oops, sorry. G will take you to the grid, and so you can use E to go back to single image and G to go back to the grid. C will give you the compare view, which allows you to see two images side by side. This is sometimes helpful for comparing between two similar images to kind of figure out which one you like better, or comparing between two images that are going to go in a set and making sure they're consistent, things like that. If we go back to our grid view, we can use, depending on if you're Mac or PC, you use Control-A or Command-A will select all. It's pretty self-explanatory. And then Control-D or Command-D will deselect all. These ones are pretty easy to remember. Then you can use your plus and minus keys at the top of your keyboard to make these smaller. You can make them really, really tiny, or you can make them bigger. As big as, pretty big. So just the plus and minus keys, again, that's pretty self-explanatory. I don't know if you guys use flags much for culling. I personally don't, but I know some people find that really useful, so I included those as well. You can use the X key, X as in X marks the spot, to flag an image as rejected, which will kind of dim it out, and then you can later work with those flags to delete all rejected photos and things like that. So it can be a handy way if you're doing a lot of culling. And then if you want to unflag that, you can go back to it and hit the U key for unflag. And saying you really want to keep track of the ones you especially like, again, for culling purposes, you can flag something as a pick with the P key, which gives you a little white flag there. Okay, so that's everything for library. And then I'm going to go to the develop module here. And, oh, by the way, you can actually do that. Let's see, I'll go back to library. And then you can actually hit D, and and that'll take you to the develop mode. So one of the most important keyboard shortcuts in develop mode, I think, is the show and hide toolbar. This is your toolbar down here. And I don't know if any of you have ever accidentally made it go away, but I know I did multiple times before I finally figured this out. From accidentally hitting a key. And the key is T for toolbar. And I'll just make that come back or go away. I like to keep mine around because it's pretty handy. But if it randomly disappears, just hit T and you can get it back. Another one I thought was kind of neat is, so you have all these panels, and generally all mine are open because I'm just sloppy like that, and I always have all of them open. But there is something called solo mode in Lightroom, which is pretty cool. If you Alt or Option click one of these panels, any one of these panels, it'll enter into solo mode, so you only have that panel open. And then you can, if you open a new panel, it'll only open that one panel at a time. So that can be really nice if you start feeling really disorganized and you don't like scrolling through all of the panels. And then if you want to open everything back up again, you just Alt-click. Oops. I thought you could do that. Maybe I'm not. Okay. Oh, right. You can Command-click, I think. There we go. Command-click will open up all of your panels again. Sorry about that. Command or Control. So that's solo mode. Another thing that, again, this might have happened to you by accident, is there's this thing called an information overlay here. You may have seen it, you might have it on yours right now. You may want to get rid of it. If you do, the key is I, and that'll cycle through a couple different information settings and then it'll disappear. I personally don't like to have that out unless I really need it for something. So that's how that works. I for info. Z will give you zoom toggle, so you can go in and out. I tend to just use the clicking. Oops. I tend to just click zoom, but I don't know why that's not working. The computer doesn't like me today. But Z will also work. R will take you to the crop screen. R for crop. And I thought this was handy. The A key will toggle between locked or unlocked ratio. What that means is over here you have this little lock, and when it's locked, your ratio will stay at whatever you set it at. And when it's unlocked, you can use A again here, it'll adjust to whichever ratio you'd like. So again, you can do it just by clicking on this little lock thing, but if you prefer, you can use A. V was another one you might find handy. That'll just toggle between black and white and color. So that's a quick way to look at it in black and white, see if it has potential that way. Q will take you to the spot removal tool, which, I don't know, I guess it's quicker than clicking on this little thing up here. It was one of the easy ones, so I thought I'd throw it in. Here's another one that might have happened to you by accident that might drive you crazy. J will show and hide clipping, and there's no clipping in this picture because it's perfect, of course. But if you have clipped highlights or clipped shadows, you can either click on these little boxes up here to show that or unshow it, or you can use the handy dandy J key to turn it off and on. I just have two left. This one I love. You can use Y to go to your before and after view. That's really handy. And then one last one, which is Control E or Command E, depending on if you're Mac or PC, to edit in Photoshop. And if you aren't doing that yet, you're missing out. You should really be using both. So yeah, that'll open up your little dialog and you can edit something in Photoshop. So that's everything. I don't want to belabor it too long. I can't believe I've already been talking for 10 minutes. But I also included a cheat sheet at the end of this video, and you'll find it on the blog. So you can download that and or pin it to your Pinterest board or whatever you want to do and have it handy at all times. You can even print it out and put it by your computer if you want. And here's that cheat sheet I mentioned just a second ago. As always, let me know if there's something you would like to see in a video. I hope this was helpful, and I hope you guys are having a great spring, and please don't be a stranger. Join us in the VIP Lounge group on Facebook, and let us know what you think. Alright, thanks a lot.